You know it. All right. We are live. Woo! Back in the building once again. The Hayes Brothers here on another wonderful evening on a live stream. What's today? Today is the 26th. 26th, lovely 26th of April. Yes, about to go into May. Dang, this year's going by pretty fast. It's moving on very fast. Awesome. Yep, back with another installment of live stream here, and we obviously have a guest. Got to keep the guests coming. We know everybody loves to see guests. We're gonna wait a second for anybody to hop on here, or we're just gonna roll with it. We can give them a couple seconds. We'll give them a couple seconds. We'll give y'all a couple seconds to jump in the game here, as we have a guest, and we know y'all like to talk to the guests. Join in on the conversation. I won't say put your 2 cents in. We have 2 cents. Everyone else has at least a dollar bill to add to the conversation. So we love when other people chime in as well. So we're gonna give everybody a few. I'm about to run it, but I mean, you know what? Few seconds. Run it. Good. Run it. All right.
How many people we got now?
America, we in the building. We are going to get started here. Like I said, once again, we have a guest. We're going to be talking about a few things today on the lines and guys of liberty, always, the militia, which is a term that I think has lost its zeal in a lot of Americans today. So we're going to go ahead and rid that stigma that's on that term today. And we're going to do that with our guests. And today we have our guest is none other than Mr. Chris Hill. Everybody give it up. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, brother? Good to be here.
Great guy. Look, we met him down. We actually met him for the first time down in Georgia, which I believe you're out of, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm in McDonough, Georgia.
All right, Georgia, awesome, man. We've been in there a few times, but Georgia's an interesting place. Growing up, all we used to hear about Georgia was Atlanta, and anytime we heard Atlanta, the kind of steer clear, I don't know what that's for, but I'm pretty sure you know why they would tell us to steer clear of Atlanta growing.
Fuck.
But we're glad that we went to the Get Right rally. Last week, like a week ago, at the Get Right rally. It was awesome. Like I said, we met Chris Hill there, and we just want you to kind of chime in and pretty much educate us today, man. You're part of the 3%ers movement. A lot of people would like to know what that's about, like where you come from, how you grew up, and pretty much how you got started. So I guess we can just start there, like telling us a little bit about yourself personally, and then segue a little bit into the 3%er movement and how you became.
Yeah, man, like I said, I'm Chris Hill. I'm a paralegal by trade. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And I've Marine Corps veteran, did 4 years in the Marine Corps, and took an oath to defend my country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I'm kind of old school, man. I've been out for 20 years, and in the last 10 years, I felt like my country, is kind of like, going in the wrong direction. But it goes a lot deeper than that. But I started researching and finding out that things aren't always as they seem, and it gives me a great concern to when I come across this information, and I made a decision. It's like I feel like they might be coming for my guns. They might be coming. Put me in some, re-education camps, and they might be trying to push some communism. They're coming to take, my freedom and my liberty away, right? So I was like, I can't sit behind the door and wait on it to happen. I got to be proactive and get out there and find other people. So I started looking, and I found other people that shared similar concerns, and we said, hey, we got to take it back to being there with our arms and being there with our counsel. And if the shit hits the fan, if the shit goes down, we're going to be ready. And, as I started out, with looking for a militia. I went, looked into Oath Keepers, and I get kicked around a lot because, everybody wants to keep their organization, they want to keep that pyramid structure in place, and I kind of fucked it up. I busted it up. But
so you don't play nice. You don't play too nice rules. You rebel, you.
I gotta get out there. I gotta be there training. I gotta get ready. This ain't no game, man. I'm finding people that are fucking hard hit motherfuckers, man. And I don't want to hear people talking about it, typing about it. I want them to be about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's awesome. So, as far as I know, you say you were looking for different movements. So I guess you came across multiple militias. So would you consider that, as far as 3%? Kind of give us a little bit about the background there, like how that came into like your scope of view, and just a little bit of background on the movement in itself.
There's a lot of people that don't know what the 3%ers are.
All about.
The first time I saw it, it was on a Vice video, and they were basically going like based around you and a couple of other guys and their families or whatever. And I was like, that guy seemed pretty cool. And never thought we'd actually meet you in person, but yeah. The 3% movement was like something that was ominous, man. I didn't know what it was at the time. So I know there's a lot of other people out there.
Like it's a secret society or something, kind of just rid us of that stigma.
It's way bigger than me, man. Way bigger than me. And the Vice video, that was a blessing, to be able to. They didn't do the best job. They had a really kick-ass documentary, but they kind of put that liberal spin on it. They came back and want to film me up in the attic. That's bullshit. But other people saw it and they're like, hey, I want to be a part of something like that. Where there's some structure. And 3%, breaks it down like this. When we broke away from England, the British, right?
The British, yeah, the crown.
Like a third of the people were anti-Britain. A third of the people were pro-Britain. A third of people didn't give a fuck one way or the other. So there was like 2.4 colonists in the colonies at that time, and like 800,000 did the fighting. So it was like a third, right? So a third of the people engaged in the fight. A third of the people didn't give a shit. A third of the people were loyal to the crown. So the idea was kind of like the Marines, which is why I like it. A small group of people can make some big things happen. And to sum it all up, man, here tonight, here's what I want to kind of put this out there tonight, man, is that, the formula is simple. The formula is simple, man. We think that our government and we think that our country can be better than what it is right now. And let that guide your heart, let that guide your direction, let that guide your mind. And we can make better things happen. We can have a transparent government. We can have less tyranny and corruption and fuckery and So
oh yeah. I mean, it's written down for you. Like, all right, you got your Constitution. That's supposed to be the law of the land. That's supposed to be the thing that we're working towards. We understand that it won't perfect. It ain't never been perfect. But that's the guideline that we're trying to work towards. But people don't want to look at it like that. You look at the background and the stuff that people did, individuals did. It ain't about the individual. It is about the individual.
Yeah.
But when they put rules in place, you got to look at it like they're not going by the Constitution. Yeah. And when they're not going by the Constitution, those rules and those laws are null and void. Mm-hmm. They don't. I'm looking at it now. The older I get, and the more I look at things, it's like the more we basically comply, the more we basically give cadence or give power to the rules that they set in place. Compliance basically equals the fact that you are complicit to
it. See, that's right, man. Because we came together, right? Or they came together in 1776 to form a more perfect union, right? So you would think over time, the goal would be to perfect it, make it even better. But right now, shit's just getting worse. It's unreal. The inequities are so prevalent and widespread. We're not moving to make things better. They're moving to make things fucking worse.
Basically, yeah, they want to hold. Basically, they want government control of everything. You're gonna have to ask the government, is it okay for me to go piss? Is that okay? Like, no, like, bruh.
And we have differences in opinion. That's one thing. But as you said, there were the 3%. That there were individuals who were willing to actually boots on the ground, go out and make change. And those
and lay their life down for.
Yeah, and the people that were willing to do that, their ideas and their ideology and their beliefs were the ones that was what was realized in America. So the people that are actually putting forth the work, you know, whether we agree with it or not, that's where the change is going to come in. So those of us who believe in principles of freedom, who believe in liberty, who believe in self-preservation and our rights, we have to actually step forward and be, like you said, the 3%. We have to be those ones on boots on the ground fighting and actually putting in the work to have our ideology and our beliefs realized or continue to hold those beliefs. Because the standard, as you said, is the Constitution. Anytime you have an organization or anything like that, there has to be a standard, and our standard is the United States Constitution. If we don't know the United States Constitution, how can we uphold it, you know?
And how can we allow them to trample it?
Exactly. If you don't know what you're fighting for, you don't know when you've been attacked at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand who the enemy is and basically how the enemy works, you don't know when you're getting attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know now when we're getting attacked because we don't know the Constitution. They don't teach it in school no more. They don't teach kids the Constitution. They try their best to basically form your views of the Constitution before you read it.
Mm-hmm.
So you already got a view of what the Constitution says and who it's for and who it's not for, and you live your life with that, but you never actually cracked it open to see what the words actually say. Screw the laws that they made. What does it say in black and white? What does it say? If what they're doing goes against that, it doesn't have any power at all. The only time they give it that they have power is when we comply to it. Compliance, like I said, compliance means that you agree with it. The more you comply, the more you agree. No matter what you say, you might say you don't.
Yeah. Not.
Let me ask you this, Chris. Let me ask you this. So if you, I'm gonna kind of bring it back a little bit because we were talking about the 3%. So do you consider it like a movement as far as the 3%? Do you consider it a movement, or do you consider it more of like a brotherhood, or how would you describe it? And once you describe it, how would you describe the mission statement of the 3%ers?
I would start by saying that leaders don't create movements; movements create leaders.
Boom.
And I would say that our mission in 3% Security Force is to basically take up a defensive position whenever shit hits the fan, and take care of our friends, take care of our families, and be able to go out and handle business with providing food, water, and security for our families. If and when the shit hits the fan, we do have 80% of what we do is in the field, training basic infantryman skills, communications, first aid, marksmanship, and 20% of what we do is like we did in Atlanta. That's being I would say politically active and advocating for positive change. But in a nutshell, man, I think the overview of what I can give you. I've been saying this for many years, right? But I'm at the point now, dude. I'm looking at it like it's tyranny. I'm looking at this shit like it was a coup last election. I'm looking at this shit like they want to bring in red flag laws. Now I'm out of that. Where I started from. I started over here. Now I'm way over here. Like now.
So you're not just leaning right anymore. You off that ledge, right?
I can't suffer this shit anymore, man. I can't take what's happening with communists running for president or running for office. I can't take, the government corruption. I can't take uh with red
Hey, I
flag
feel you, brother.
laws, taking weapons and
The bands.
the ban. Uh, all these things, man, they're a step in the wrong direction, man. And you know,
Yup.
they're, it's evil, man. It's almost satanic that you get these
It ain't
lifelong
almost it
policies.
is.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm saying, man, if we're defensive, right?
Yeah.
But we got a hell of
Absolutely.
a punch. Got a hell of a counterpunch.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. You got to be ready, man. You got to be ready. So and that's awesome. Like the training and stuff that you mentioned, like that you all do, and the preparedness that you all imply and stuff in the community. That's awesome and that's necessary. And one thing I noticed though is I think 80% of what you describe and what you say you all do, I think a lot of people would conflate that with the work of like the National Guard, so to speak. And I think that is a common misconception that the militia would be considered that of the National Guard and not what you all are, are part of. So what I mean, how do you feel about that? You know, have you ever heard that misconception being brought forth about National Guard or whatnot, or how do you feel about that?
Mm-hmm. The National Guard is an organized militia, right?
Mm.
But here in Georgia, most likely in North Carolina, everybody that's not in the National Guard is a member of the unorganized militia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 17-year-olds up to 45-year-olds. They answer to the governor. Like the governor could say, "Shit's hit the fan. I need some help. I'm calling up all able-bodied people." That's the unorganized militia.
Mhm.
That's the people that you can pull from. And I would back it up, or I would add this: like number two, once a Marine, always a Marine. Like I was a
Yeah.
Marine, and I'm gonna keep being a Marine always. So I feel like I'm doing Marine Corps shit and
Simplify,
help
soldier.
simplify. So
That's dope.
using that, man. Or let me go a little bit deeper. Can I go a little bit deeper?
Go deep,
Hey,
man.
go
Go
ahead.
deep.
All right. So we had the militia up until 1812, the War of 1812. It was a militia. We fought to a
Uh-huh.
standstill. We fought to a standstill because we didn't have soldiers that were training every day to fight
Yeah,
against foreign enemies. So they
absolutely.
came up with the idea, as scared as they were kind of scared about it. We're going to have a standing military. So
Yeah.
we the people gave our trust to the military to say, "Hey, defend us," when shit hit the fan.
Mm.
But we
Yeah.
we didn't give away our right to say, "Hey, we still have a vested interest in our own liberty, in our own freedom." So that stays with us. You don't delegate that shit.
That's right. That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. We didn't give up the right to protect ourselves or be able to stand up for ourselves when stuff comes this way.
Yeah.
Or when the government decide, yeah, we decided we're gonna step on y'all and y'all are like peons
Yeah.
and just subjects now. Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
And that's why I said war, peace, negotiation, foreign commerce, the federal government, they have grounds in that area. But when we're just talking about just protecting ourselves, I mean, well-regulated militia, I mean, that right there in itself tells you that, hey, we don't need you for everything. You have your objective. I mean, you have
your job.
You have your job.
Purpose.
War, peace, negotiation, foreign commerce. You have your job, but we still have the right to self-preservation at the end of the day. All right.
Because when it come to my yard, you ain't gonna be here.
We know that.
When it come to my city, you're not gonna be here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The military ain't gonna be here.
Take it. Hey, you're right. You're right, because that's called posse comitatus. The military can't patrol the
Mm.
people. So
Nope.
there's a reason why we should keep, that fire inside of us. There's a reason. We don't want to be patrolled by the military and have them policing us. They should all answer to
Mm.
us. We the people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. I like this. That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nobody got nothing against the military. I love the military members.
Oh yeah.
I love the military members. I never made it through. I got hurt during basic, so I didn't make it all the way through. But I still took everybody that stood up there and took that oath to defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic, you still take that oath. And I didn't, at the time, I said the words, but I didn't really grasp the meaning, per se.
All he was thinking about back then is my president's back.
Yeah,
my president's back.
I went in and shoot 2008, like Obama was coming. I was like, yeah, I'm about to be in the military. I'm the first black president. Heck yeah, I'm going. All the wrong reasons. But I still said the oath, and now the older I get, the more I realize what that means.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And the more it means to me, and the more I'm willing to do to really live up to the words I said as a little 17-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm. God bless, brother. You know, God bless, man. They ain't a bunch of robots, man. They're our brothers and sisters from our states. You know, we contribute to the military. They're us. They got to stand with people.
Exactly.
The problem is you get these politicians that, you know, chain of command says you gotta answer to, you know, the president of the United States. Hey, you might have a fucked up president, you know. So
exactly, make them do some crazy stuff.
There's a catch. It's called the officers. They take a different oath. They question unlawful orders, unconstitutional orders. They can say the shit that's coming down ain't right. I ain't gonna have my people do it. You know, that's what we got in the military. You know, there's a safety net there. But on the flip side, they gotta understand and they gotta respect the notion and the belief, the deep held belief that we the people ultimately gave consent to a standing military, you know, to protect us. However, you know, with the government they're scared. The government don't want us to be armed. They don't want us to be networked.
Oh no.
It's a threat to them. But when the government's when you know the saying, you know, when the people fear the government, there's tyranny. When the government fears the people, there's liberty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know,
Exactly.
but the government can kill everybody on the fucking planet right now, and they worried about a fucking 22, a bump stock, or some dumb
It's just, and I'm looking at those things like
Swalwell said they have nukes.
Exactly, they have nukes. They're not going to go down. But the thing is, like you said, yeah, they got the firepower. Understood. But they want to sit there, and in my view, they want to use and see. Okay, can I take this from them? Will they let us take this? Have we got them softened up to the point where we can take this? And if they say yeah to this, okay, next time we come, we're gonna come with a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we're gonna soften them up for a couple more years. And if they had tried that back in, well, they did do the semi-auto, the full auto ban in 1934. They did that. They got that passed. But that was because all the, like Bonnie Clyde, all the booze runners and stuff had all them the BARs and stuff. They got scared the public. If they can scare the public, they feel like they can take whatever they want to take. They can get enough people to vote for the stupid laws they got. They can get stuff passed. Especially if people like us ain't going out there putting our feet down.
And the thing I don't understand is the fact, generally, most times when you look at fear, when you look at instilling fear breeds distrust in most cases. Just like you look at relationships, anytime like if you're hurt by some type of some person in a relationship, it'll breed distrust, and that comes from the fear that this person may hurt you. So usually fear breeds distrust, but in this case, it's like fear breeds distrust in other people, but it breeds more trust in the government, which doesn't make sense to me. You know. That should be even more distrust. Is okay. You allow this to happen to me. Supposedly, if you're supposedly protecting me, you allow this to happen. So why would I trust you to put more regulations on the way I live? Why don't I just take my own life into my own hands?
It's the way we talk.
And say what?
It's the way we talk.
It's the way that we're taught.
It's the way we're taught. We're taught. Basically, masculinity is evil. Go ahead.
Man, we're tracked more than the birds and the freaking animals on this planet, and it goes back to, like you said. In you brought up 1934, right? So I'll go back to 1912. 1912, right? That's when we had the creation of the Federal Reserve. And it was a 20-year charter, right? So the Federal Reserve we had the Roaring '20s. Federal Reserve handing out money. Everybody drinking, partying and shit. And then what happened? Great Depression. They wanted all their money back. They wanted all their money back. And it had to be paid back 40% with gold. 40% with gold. So in 1933, we were fucked. And in 1933, they signed another charter. And they said, they did a bunch of things in 1933. The Federal Reserve got ratified for 100 years. They took us off the gold and silver standard. The founding fathers, man, said wealth stay with the people. The gold, the silver, we should always have gold and silver. We should be wealthy people. But they take the gold and silver away and give us fucking monopoly money.
I owe you. All it is, I owe you.
I mean, ain't a dime's worth of difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill, except a fucking zero or two at the end of it. That ain't wealth. And the Coinage Act said that you're supposed to kill somebody that does that takes us off, that destabilizes, debases. That's the word, debase.
Yeah, debase.
There you go.
But they didn't do that. They got together, and then what happened? Then they had that motherfucker Franklin Delano Roosevelt he ran for president how many times? Like 4 fucking times. 4 times.
Oh yeah, that joke kept on running. If he had been alive, he'll still be running.
He probably would still be running. Or had his kids running.
Still been trying to run, but if ain't nobody killed him by then. That's crazy.
But I mean, it's like they took the wealth away from the people, and you say 1934. That's when they started taking weapons away from people that crime. There was crime, all whenever. Cain and Abel, there's been crime.
Never stop.
Crime ain't gonna never stop.
It ain't never gonna stop. But what they started doing is taking guns away from the people. You know what I mean?
Exactly, it's
a system. We're paying the fucking debt. We got $22 trillion of debt. We're steadily taking guns away from people, and they're steadily trying to take more guns away from people. Hey, President Trump today he withdrew from the UN Small Arms Treaty ban.
Yeah.
So, bam.
that's one good.
Give him a thumbs up on that.
That's thumbs up. That's thumbs up. You gotta do something to make up for that bump stock, man. That had me hot. I mean, I was mad. I still ain't forget the NRA for that one. That right there, boy.
I'm mad as hell, dude.
That jump pissed me all the way off. I ain't never thought I'd feel like this about the NRA again.
Exactly.
And I got a valid reason to this time? Oh, no.
Like, so what are your thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts when it comes to organizations like the NRA, National Gun Owners of America, like the
Gun Owners of America? I love them dudes.
How do you all feel about those organizations, how they operate? And or do you feel differences in opinion on like the organizations in themselves, like as separate from one another?
I think in the end, I think they're lobbyists. I think that people, put their faith and trust in it, to an extent. But ultimately, again, it comes back to having that responsibility yourself. You can't pay NRA or Gun Owners of America to protect your rights. That's something that you got to stand up for yourself. So.
Nice.
If they advocate for that,
and it kind of scares me as well, because it's like you pay so much money in every year, and then you get letters and phone calls and stuff, and it's like help us to protect your rights. We're going hard hitting to the government. We're going to Washington D.C. We're going into that swamp, and we're going to fight for your rights. So just make sure you pay that yearly bill, and we're going to make sure we continue to fight for you. And then it's like, what did you do? You let them take what from me? Like, you let them
and made the call.
On the flip side, though, they won't even come and back you up, man. If you hold a Second Amendment rally, because you look like you got a rifle, you're wearing camouflage pants. Oh, you look crazy. We don't want to be involved in that, man.
Right?
Fuck that.
Exactly. If you're fighting for that, if you're fighting for my rights to self-preservation, and specifically we're talking about the Second Amendment, which you stand on, that's your platform, the NRA or gun owners, whatever, these organizations, if that's what the platform that you stand on and that's how you get your money, that you should be trying to get to every rally that you can to support whomever, especially if they're holding guns and passionate about what they're talking about. Not just because they're on your platform should you support. You should support others' platforms as well.
It shows people that the gun is not going to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude sat out there with that AR the whole time, was out there at that rally, and the gun never turned around and tried to bite nobody.
No one died.
And they never started back on vomiting bullets at people. I mean, it was so well behaved. I was surprised.
Yeah, yes. Good gun. Just a good.
It's crazy, man.
Good fire. I should have gone and gave it a tree or something.
It's stupid. I don't understand. Like, an armed society is a polite society. Like, seriously, it's a cliche, but it's dead serious. Because if you don't know what this man got up under his coat, you are not gonna go run your mouth to this guy. Everybody's like, how you doing today? You can go first. Thank you. It makes everybody nice because you any point in time, dude gonna pull up his coat and it's gonna be on. You don't piss people off like that.
That is so true.
You're right, man. You're right. There's got to be, I think there should be more firearms. More people should have not only assault rifles, concealed constitutional carry, carry that shit. Take out the bad guys. There'll be less crime. But every time there's a crime, the government answers, taking the rights away from me and you, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Making us criminals.
Exactly. And we had before we even came to Georgia, we like so on edge about, because we've been to DC so much, so you know how they are when it comes to guns or whatever. We're like, I ain't gonna say what we do. Shit. But before we went to Georgia, we were like, do we have we had to check and see we had reciprocity with GA before we came down to Georgia, So it like you said, it shouldn't be like that, but we got to be on edge as far as carrying our firearms, our own protection when we cross over the state lines, just because of the way things are set up. It's like, and it shouldn't be like that according to our Constitution.
Right. Check out Washington, D.C., man. Is that a part of America or not?
Man, no.
God, no. I won't even accept that place.
Not at all.
Hey.
The District of Columbia is its own.
Hey, but if it's inside the United States of America, I should be able to carry my rifle there.
You should. That's why I don't consider it.
If I can't, they're violating the Constitution, in my opinion.
There you go.
Oh, they are. You're 100% correct on that. Like you said, if it's in there, you're a part of that. But as the way things are, like you said, politicians, lobbyists, all these people, they come in and they make up these rules and that have nothing to do with the Constitution. They're a complete contradiction to the Constitution, complete contradiction to the standard that we agreed to, and they put it into effect, and we allow them to just go, and we just go along with it. We give them the power to be able to do those things in which they do. Like you said, when we comply, we're saying okay to it. So, and that's what happens. So I don't like consider it to be a part of America. Because I'm like, you're completely going against everything that we stand for.
I'm ready.
Is to condone.
I'm ready to put my nuts on the line and put it to the test. I'm ready to put it on. If I can't stand in Washington D.C. with my rifle, if I can't stand at Lexington and Concord with my rifle, if I can't cross to Delaware with a fucking muzzle-loaded rifle, and reenact how this country was born, then fuck it, man. Take my life, shoot me right here, man. Put a bullseye on my head. When you do, liberty is going to spring forth, baby. I'm going to fight for what I took an oath for. And if I die, there's going to be 100,000 people, that'll fucking be like, they'll wake up. Am I that person? I don't know. I don't know if I'm that person. Am I ready to be that person? Fuck yeah, I am.
I hear you, brother. And that's what's so crazy. Like, so many things like this go on that we don't really hear about. Some things ain't naturally, like the whole Bundy situation on the Bundy Ranch. That was a big one with property rights that really kind of sounded the alarm off and woke a lot of people up. That specific situation. But there are so many things that go on like that when it's dealing with property rights. When it's just dealing with our liberties in general, that we don't really hear about now we really don't have much excuse because this stuff is reported on. It's just like, it doesn't make mainstream a lot, but it's out there.
In, man.
Yeah, and find out. Like if you really need motivation, you can find it because this stuff is happening like every day.
It's in the 80s no more, man. You can type whatever you want to in the daggone search bar, and you can find it.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn something, you can find out what you want to know.
Exactly.
Coaches do it all the time. They can figure out a new dance craze.
That's true.
Or somebody new music video that just came out. You can figure that out, but you can't figure out what the Constitution says.
Hey, but you brought up Bundy Ranch, right?
Yeah.
I was there. You know why I went?
Really?
Yeah. You know why I went?
Why is that?
I looked on the TV and I saw a bunch of BLM. They were beating up pregnant women and tasing them, telling them they had a constitutional zones, and
constitutional zone.
That's a civil matter. There's a difference between civil and criminal.
Yeah.
Civil matter, you go to court and talk to a judge. Criminal matter, you break out the guns and take in the criminals, right?
Yeah.
So them saying that, that man, hey, I went out there, dude. That's a fucking desert. Them cows are eating some fucking tumbleweed and shit.
We ain't got nothing else to eat.
That's a hard ass life. That's a hard ass life out there.
Wow. So from your perspective, how was it like? From your perspective, from being there, like give us a little bit of the backdrop on that. Like from you being there, was it just you by yourself? Did you have people with you, or?
No, there was people there. Yeah. The majority, but you can't stay there, forever. Yeah. And as soon as you got to go home, and when you go home, that's when they're going to come and pick you off.
Yeah.
So that's a major consideration, going forward, man. But in the end, dude, they it's like they put sniper rifles up on the hills. That's what did it. And they tried to hide that from the court. They tried to tell the court, you can't bring that shit to the court. But it eventually made its way to the court. Them motherfuckers had sniper rifles pointing it down on a family, saying that the cows were eating fucking tumbleweed and they owed money for the fucking grass that they were eating. And they would shoot and kill them and tase them and beat them. Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. Yeah. And that's what we're going. That's happening in the United States of America. And that's what's so sad about it. Like, not just misconstruing information and lying to the public, but they're actually taking the step forward to come out and physically harm American citizens just for simply things that are theirs.
For working.
For working. For just living. Like, you trying to take me out just for living.
I'm making a darn living. You gonna come here because you want the land. You gonna come take it.
Just like that. Just like that. You just come take it because you want it.
What the piss you think this is?
And that's what scares me, man. About more than anything, it's like it's property rights. Because I don't know exactly how much land the government owns in America, but I know the percentage is supposed to. Yeah, the percentage is a lot higher than it should be. That's for sure, and that's what scares me.
I got a nugget for you. Yeah, like when you pay your house, right? You pay a house, it's yours. You get the deed, right? You shouldn't have to pay any fucking taxes on it.
Exactly.
Every year.
Ever give you the deed, and you always gonna pay taxes on it.
So who really owns it?
Who really owns it? Yeah, in reality.
That's the most fucked up shit, man. All of it.
It is.
All of it. We got to fix all of this, man. There needs to be a redress grievances, not just for like Second Amendment. Every fucking thing. Protest every fucking thing that they're doing fucking wrong, man.
And that's what's so sad too. Is like
I represent buying a freaking laptop, and then I don't pay for the laptop, leave the store, and I got to pay the daggone manufacturer every freaking month for the laptop.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, man. It's like at that point, like, what do you do? Because it's like, our representatives, they're supposed to represent the people and they be in the interest of the people. But when we have a grievance and we try to address this thing, and we talk to our representatives, we write our representatives, we try to call our representatives, and Eric Holden don't pick up the phone, or he doesn't respond to a message that you sent because he doesn't technically have to. That is a problem,
No, you do have to.
I'm just saying, that's a problem.
We get 40,000 people, 100,000 people standing together, and they will have to listen to us. We have to
Yeah.
tell. I mean, it sounds extreme. I'm not an extremist, but we have domestic enemies in this country. They got to be fucking taken out. We have a redress of grievances. That shit needs to be heard. And if we're not being heard, then we have the right by the Declaration of Independence to tell the motherfuckers to go home, and we're gonna start it up again based on the principles that this country was founded on and the principles that keep us free. So that wheel it turns every 200 years. We go from freedom to empathy. Like smarter people than me came up with the formula. It's a blessing that we've been able to go this far. But $22 trillion of debt and all this dumb shit that goes along with it, man. We deserve better, man. We can have if we have the fucking courage of our convictions to fucking stand up. Do like Egypt, man. Get 1 million people. You can see that shit from space. Get the fuck out or we're coming in. Get the fuck out or we're coming in. That's what peaceful revolution. But if you want blood, start here. You want blood, start with me. Start with you.
There you go. I feel you, brother. You got me ready to dress up like a Native American and like go throw some tea off a boat or something, man. You got me ready, man.
You stupid, yo. You stupid.
Got me ready.
You real stupid. You know that.
I'm just saying, like, it's a revolution. Let's start it. I don't want to be Christmas addicts, but I'm ready.
Hey, it is what it is.
I'm just saying, like, that's real talk.
It's crazy though.
You got it really, and I wouldn't say that's radical at all. That's just what it is. It happened. It's a part of our history. It played a major role in us being who we are today, and we have to preserve that. If we don't, we've got nothing.
Like
we may as well just hang it up and call ourselves
Europe. Let it ask Benjamin Franklin. What kind of government do we got? Either a republic, if you can keep it.
If you can keep it.
That means it's some work got to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just sit back and let the government just do what it's going to do, because the natural tendency of government is to rule.
That's true.
And to basically be in charge of everything.
And that was after coming out of the Constitutional Convention, after coming out of a meeting where you're dogging it out, having these conversations about laws and principles and different things, and you come out of the meeting and you still say, the type of government you're going to have is a republic if you can keep it, which means you have to act. There has to be some action.
Do some work.
We can sit down, we can talk about it, we can discuss it, we can educate as well. That's important, but we have to act.
I ask you one question. If the Constitution is a contract between the people and the government, has the government breached that contract?
Absolutely.
Oh, a long time ago.
A real long time ago. We was born into a breached contract.
Yeah, that is true.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. They breached.
We're already born into it.
So if you breach one, in the contract, if you fuck up on one line, the whole contract is null and void, right?
Yeah, true. That's what God said. You get to one, you get to them all, right? You breach one. You're right, man. You breach one, you breach them all, basically. So it's like the contract becomes null and void at that point. And at that point, we gotta re-up, man. It's like we gotta re-up. We gotta redo this thing. And I think that's what a lot of like I said, left-leaning ideology. That's what those individuals, they're ready. They already changing things. They're already trying to change things, to their line of thinking. So they're like, that America thing, that was going a long time ago. That liberty thing, that was going a long time ago. We ready to change things up here, all right? And they are doing it.
The question is, are we going to let them?
Are we going to let them?
We got a right to be free from that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But we got to start actually putting the groundwork in for it.
But if you don't know that, a lot of the people, especially the generation under us, they don't know that.
No,
they don't know that. They think this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like I said, because they were born into a breach contract. Really. They were born into servitude. They don't know nothing but servitude. They think the government. We were taught in school that the government tells you what to do, and you listen to what the government say. If you don't get out my peach ring bag, I will bite your fingers off. They told us basically in school that you cannot defy the government, and they made that. They bred us to think that way. Like you don't question the government. The government say this, then what you do?
How old are you, Joe?
26.
How old are you, Chris?
28.
I'm like 44, right? I'm a couple years older, right?
Just a couple. Just a couple.
When I was growing up, we had like two TV channels, right? It's like I remember Channel 13 and a fuzzy ass Channel 41. You had to
Oh, you was there. You was there when TV went off.
antenna around, right? But at 12 o'clock, the fucking TV went off.
Oh, that American flag flying in the background.
The flag was flying, but if you go to YouTube, it would tell you it would have the words to the Star Spangled Banner,
Wow.
and as each line was fading, it'd say like "Obey the government, obey the brainwashing, brainwashing to
Obey the government.
Obey the government.
But I'll fast forward into this. You know, Jesus went into the temple, and when they were screwing people over, right? He destroyed the temple, like tipping tables over and shit. Because
you can't talk about that Jesus. Hold on. Not that Jesus. Not him.
Jesus is love. Love doesn't flip tables.
They don't want to talk about that Jesus.
I got to.
You got to, brother.
But in that temple, that's like a small microcosm of the Federal Reserve, you know. So the people, I think, have a right to say, you know, we don't even have constitutional money. It's an unconstitutional organization, first and foremost. The Bible says, you know, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Caesar wants your taxes, you give him your taxes. And if Caesar wants your land, give him your land. You know, all this shit. But if the government wants blood, then I'm going to give them my blood. That's how I feel about it.
Even with that, people want to use that like, give Caesar what Caesar and obey the law of the land. All right, we're going to go by to obey the law of the land. The law of the land is the Constitution. That's an unconstitutional organization.
They steal it from
So
me.
That is not the law of the land. The law of the land says that what's mine is mine.
That is my money. They are.
That's the law of the land over here. So you want to go down that route? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be time to start chopping heads off.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
That's what people use, and it's sad that Christians will use that even.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you pay all those taxes to the government, because that's that. They get render unto Caesar what is Caesar. I'm like, look,
but
that's a completely type of government that they were even under. So you can't even use that.
I'll whittle it up. Who decides? Who decides when we've been? If the government racked up $22 trillion debt, who decides that's been enough? If the government Congress can pass laws that can tax us, who decides when they've abused that power? Who decides? There's not like one person that's going to step up and say, "Hey, everybody, listen! The government has abused the power to do all this shit. They've abused their power." You know, it's like nobody's saying it. Who the fuck has to say it for people to believe that, you know, they've abused the power in all of these different areas?
No, we done got too used to basically comfortability and ease. Decadence. That's the word I want to use. Decadence they basically weakened us to the point where we don't think we had to do anything. We don't think we have to do anything. Stuff just run like it run. Everything's instantaneous. Nothing takes time no more. You don't have to go out and work. Men don't want to work. Men ain't even men no more. People don't even know the difference between a man and a woman. I might wake up tomorrow and just say, I feel like a woman today. And people going to accept me. That's the sad part. I could do that, and there are people that's going to say, good on you, guy. Great job, person. Yeah. And that's the stupid part. No, if I go out there and do that, I should be expecting ridicule and shaming. Because it's a shameful thing to not know what the piss I am.
There are bigger issues on the table we need to be addressing. I don't give a fuck about anybody. You know, you're a chick with a dick, you chop your shit off. I don't give a fuck.
It is ma'am.
There's bigger things we need to be fixing.
That's true. That's true.
But that's part of it, though.
How long are we gonna take this shit? My kids, right? My boy is 13. My girl is 12. They ain't even old enough. I got nice hats, right? My boy My boy can't buy your hat on credit. My girl can't buy your hat on credit. They ain't into the age of majority. They ain't 18. They can't enter into a contract yet.
Yeah.
But the government's there waiting for them. When they turn 18, guess what they start doing? Start paying. Guess how much
Oh
they
yeah.
got to pay? $70,000 a piece. $70,000 a piece. That's how much they owe the government. That's still in the future. That's still in the future of our kids, man.
Oh yeah.
And don't let them go to college and rack up their own debt for real.
Yeah.
They just add on to it
That's it.
to learn some stuff that really you ain't gonna never use.
More than likely.
More than likely. It's like, now some people, you go to college, you going in for something that you're gonna use. Hey, go ahead. I don't care. Do your thing.
Mm.
But if you're gonna go to college, at least use the stuff. Don't just go there to get indoctrinated.
Yeah, there really is no success principles and principles of liberty and things that are being
They're not gonna teach you how to be an entrepreneur in daggone college. They're gonna teach you to go work for somebody else and stay in debt for the rest of your prison life.
It's like a losing battle, man. It's like a losing battle, and that's why I say what scares me a bit when it comes down to leftist ideology and what's being taught. It makes you know. To me, it makes you that type of teaching. It makes you kind of know to life, and that's what this is all about.
So I can do what I want to do, and the
preservation.
consequences pass on to the next guy.
Yeah, because we don't even look at the fact that when I say it makes you know the life, it's just like you don't even really care anymore. Like principles that are being taught, like when we talk about the issue of our rights to bear arms, for instance. When we talk about stats and things with gun violence in America, is what we say. Like I think the CDC ran some statistics in 2016. There was like 30,000 or so firearm deaths in America. 20,000 of those were suicides. So there is an issue there. And then even at that rate, there are more car deaths. There were deaths about people drowning, like different things like that.
More people die than they during bathtubs.
In their bathtubs. But we don't try to take people's bathtubs. We don't try to take people's cars. That's too much money coming in. But we jump on the firearms and we never talk about that suicide rate. What's going on with people's mentality like? But we try to force citizens, law-abiding citizens, to turn their guns in. There's a problem there. Like you're losing your grip on reality. You're losing your grip with this leftist ideology. You're losing your grip on truth, reality, and just like a love for life. You become known to it because you don't even care about. There are more people killing themselves than trying to harm others. If I walk into a school or a place right anywhere right now with my firearm on, I'm not trying to harm anybody. But there are more people in America trying to harm themselves instead. So, but we're trying to take guns from law-abiding citizens. So
let them harm themselves. If they want to kill themselves, let them kill themselves.
So it's a problem with leftist ideology getting implemented to America.
Hey, brother, y'all got some moonshine? I'm gonna spit fire for you.
No!
Make it happen. Make it happen.
I ain't got nothing over here.
He said go spit some fire for us.
Go spit some fire, boy.
We love a good show. We love a good show.
I need a damn table up in here. All right. Let me try this. All right. I'm going to break it down like this, right?
Break it down.
You know that old saying, behind that mason jar, it echoes, hello.
Yeah.
You know that old saying, behind every blade of grass, there's an American with a firearm ready to in the country? All right, right now it's like half. Every other blade of grass, there's an American with a firearm, because half the country, from this last election, they're left-leaning millennials. They vote for socialism, Hillary Clinton, all that shit. And the other half, you got the men and women that are gonna, protect their way of life, and protect the First Amendment with the Second Amendment. So it's like half. So there's 330 million people in the United States of America, right? So that's a what the fuck is that? 15. Let's call it 115,000.
We can do a base number. We're not the best math heads in here either. So
you got a calculator right there.
If you want me to do some math for you, I can pull a calculator up real quick, brother.
150. I got it. 150.
Okay, 150.
150,000 people, right?
I'm gonna take your word for it.
But like, only half of the country is even like on that side, and out of that, there's even a smaller amount of people that feel the calling to hold up the Constitution and defend it
Yeah.
from all of the people that wish to overthrow it
Mhm.
and bring in a new form of government. So I'm saying this, man, like come out from behind that blade of grass, man. I know it's like this mythical motherfucker that we got to believe in, like a unicorn or something, but I want to see it. I want to know that you're gonna be there when I step out in the line. I want to know that there's 150 hard hit motherfuckers ready to step out there with me. Don't want to leave my ass hanging out there, in the breeze, because they're gonna take us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
That's a
that's what I'm shooting for, man. I don't all these old sayings, old parables and shit. It's this is something new. This is something like this is new shit. We got to fucking start thinking, and wrap our heads around it. And it ain't easy because most people can't even think about uh, what pissed them off 3 days ago. Some Something happened 3 days ago, pissed you off 3 days later, I forgot about it, whatever. But it's like you keep adding it up, keep adding it up. They're steadily pounding away at our rights. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's a frog in the boiling water, and you don't see it. But right now, they can't infringe much more until it's reached critical mass. So I'm
yep.
saying we got to exercise our rights to have a redress of grievances and let them know they're fucking up, to have a peaceful revolution, because if they don't allow peaceful revolution, then I'm gonna go out and say it, fuck it. Government's tyrannical, and I'm the motherfucker. I wish a motherfucker would.
Gotta let them know, man. That's truth. Facts. Man himself, Chris Hill. He done told you. He done told you. All right.
Ain't playing.
He ain't playing no games
at all.
My man done told you straight up. That's what it is, though. You're right.
I mean, basically,
that has
like, on a real serious note, man. It's time to stop playing, like for real.
It's time.
They really going too far.
Yeah, and they know we're upset, and they know what they're stepping on. They know we're upset, but I guess what their thing is there enough of them to be upset?
That's the thing. It's not enough people going out speaking out. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It ain't got to the point where it's enough of us to like say what we really think,
and for them to have to
really feel like we serious. Oh no, they just playing. They ain't serious.
They don't give a shit about us, man. They don't give a shit about us.
They making their money.
They rich as fuck. They got lifetime jobs. They got lobbyists. They got.
That's a problem right there. That's the problem.
They make it. You know what I'm saying? Give them median income. The median income for a household.
They had to go get jobs like everybody else.
Based on how much, or how many people live in your house, right? So I'm married.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids. I think my median average income is probably like, I don't know, more than I make, 60,000. So if that's what the median income is, give them the median income. Making $175,000 a year forever, and they ain't worried about nobody but the damn selves. We can do better than that, man. Give them 4 years. Better. Get in. And every year you can't balance a budget, take 25% of that pay. Oh, you didn't balance the budget? Take another 25. You can get out of that motherfucker making zero. Zero.
That's a good idea though.
And don't do your job, you don't get paid.
And it's funny
like anybody else.
With so many of those leftists trying to implement socialism into our society. That puts regulations on us as the people. We say universal health care, universal this. Everybody gets a base income. Everybody gets universal health care. We got a base health care. Everybody has health care and everything. But what stipulations and what regulations are there put on you all that are trying to implement this stuff?
We're the royalty. We don't have to
what I'm saying?
Crap.
Yeah, so we get regulated.
Specific, they call it specific performance. You know what I mean? Specific performance. You do what the fucking contract says you're supposed to do, and if you don't, you're in breach of contract. And that, I mean, it wasn't supposed to be like this, man. Handling the people's business supposed to be some boring shit. You go up there like 2 or 3 months a year, fucking handle it. Now it's like every freaking day, and
you're supposed to be ready to want to go back home.
You supposed to be ready to go back home.
Your
horse like George Lessing.
Finish this up so I can go home. That's how it's supposed to be. But now you sit up there like, come to DC. I'll filibuster this. I will sit here and we'll veto this and we'll just sit on it. And I'm still getting my millions. It doesn't matter. We'll just sit here and we don't have to suffer. But the people suffering.
Well, fuck, man. What the hell's a lobbyist? I thought they represented the people, not fucking lobbyists. What happened?
The people got quiet, man.
That's what it's all about.
People got scared.
They got derelict in there. It's our personal responsibility. It's our personal duty. And people have gotten too complacent. Complacency kills.
Yep.
Kills, man. We got to fire people up again.
Nice. I like that. Complacency kills.
It does.
You're right.
Like you said,
it becomes stagnant.
That boiling pot of water, you just sitting there chilling like, yeah, buddy. This feels good, but next thing you know, you sleep.
Next thing you know, it look like my savings account. It's stagnant. It's not moving. I need some cash flow. I need some fluidity.
Movement. The 3% movement. How y'all feel? Now I'm just coming out and say, how y'all feel about black folks?
I look at what Marine Corps taught me. I got 2 shades. I got green. I got dark green. I serve with some great people, man, and not all of them are white, not all of them are black. Marine Corps, they take everybody that wants to uphold and defend the Constitution, and that's what changed. Honestly, man, that's what changed that's what changed me as a person. I think growing up in Georgia, I think had friends, grew up in the same neighborhood, same parts of town, but they always play sports together, play basketball, baseball, football together, and it's cool. But there always seemed like a little bit of a separation, like when when we go to the lunchroom, man, and everybody gets to their own own little clique, own little group, kind of separate a little bit, but it's all right. But that's because I didn't have a lot of time to spend like living and training with my brothers and sisters, outside of my own little clique to get to know them better and push for something bigger than ourselves. So I think when I came out of the Marine Corps, that changed my mind. It helped develop me as a man. And I think that life after that really fomented my opinion as a person. I won't talk about the 3% movement, but hey, man, I'm a paralegal. I work with good people on a daily basis, and I venture to say I make a living helping people, and I think I've helped out 1 million people already. And I'm not trying to make a killing, trying to make a living, but I met some really good people, and I feel like my job, I'm helping people, and it's enriched my life. Being someone that will use my tongue and my words to offer solutions to problems that if you don't deal with it on a daily basis, how am I going to get out of this shit? I'm able to help out in that regard, and man, I love all God's children, man, and I think history as a whole, there's a lot of shit. This world was fucked up before I got here, and you can't sweep everything under the rug. It's gonna be fucked up, before I leave. But I'm scared. I'm scared because I think that if we don't get our shit straight, we're gonna have racism outlive the belief in Jesus Christ Himself, and that fire, the racist fire, should have burned out a long time ago. The fire that we believe in Jesus Christ, that should never be extinguished. You got to love your brother, and that's the end. The greatest commandment of all: love your brother. And if we go in that direction, we're gonna make it perfect. If we don't, the damage is done. It's gonna be fucked up.
Wow. That's deep
right there.
That is very profound.
He went deep on it.
Very profound, Chris Hill.
He went deep on it. No, the reason I asked that, man, cause like you get people that you get a whole lot of black folks like, man, you can't go out there with them white people. They're gonna shoot them guns and stuff. You ain't gonna come back home. You ain't gonna make it back. Like, bruh, we shoot with these people all the time, man. Like we shoot with guys your age, man, all the time, man, all the time.
Hey,
Like it ain't no difference. It's just a freaking hue. Like let that crap go, man. It is what it is. Like people are people.
you won't hear veterans say that, brother. You won't hear veterans say that. Veterans, no.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's more people we try to surround ourselves with these days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, it ain't about the color, man. Just like let that junk go. Especially people like my age. Like we ain't seen that stuff. We ain't seen none of it. We ain't got no excuse. We ain't got no reason to hate nobody. But we've been taught that crap.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught to do it, so we do it.
It was fucked up before we got here, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Love your brother, man. Love you.
That's it. Love you too, bro. Much love.
Exactly.
Much love.
Exactly.
And on that, I think we pretty much got through everything, brother. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up here?
Hey, do you think? Hey, put it out there. Take over the show. It's yours.
I appreciate the opportunity, man, to come and chat with you guys, man. I know that we're kind of busy at the Get Right rally, and hopefully we can do that again. I'd really enjoy that. I really look forward to that. For me and mine, man, 3% Security Force is we're above board and legal. We don't break any laws. We're not radical. The media, they put us out to be, all this dumb shit, racist, bigot, nationalist, Nazis, Confederate assholes. But that's just them doing their thing. I mean, if you get to know me, man, I mean, I can sit here with you guys all night, but it only take you like 5 minutes to get to know me. It only take me about 5 minutes to get to know you. I know good people.
Oh, yeah.
Them. And that's what it's about, man, is finding good, like-minded people that have these concerns that, hey, man, there's a better country. There's a better future. And there's some things, not being anti-government, but there are some things that we can fix to make things better. And they don't want to let go of control. They don't want to listen to the people. They're too busy. And we're not gonna go quietly into the night. We're gonna be fucking heard, because enough of this shit is enough. And we're making. Ooh, I can tell you how we've been busy as fuck. Working in this direction and with a bunch of good people. And if you're interested, man, hit it's 3% Security Force, securityforce.com. And we got chapters in about 24 states, and our chapters are doing well. And I feel honored to be able to speak on behalf of 3% Security Force, because my brothers, man, they're vets, they're civilians. We draw a fine line. We balance that line between military and civilian to say we're militia, and we have firearms. We have the Second Amendment. We're going to use the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment. But to make the changes we need to see in this country, we got the militia. We need more people getting up off of their ass and getting to the rallies, getting to the capitals, going to Washington, D.C., and we'll be there to back them up. It's going to come from gun. It ain't going to come from the barrel of a gun. We ain't going to make any changes like that unless it's something we don't want. But people coming together, that's what's going to make the changes. I feel, I have faith in that's going to be the route that we take to make the changes that we want to see. But on the flip side, if government steps over that line, and it's Lexington and Concord, and they fire that first shot, then they got to. Hey, we need all people. That's what I'm saying. We need all people, everybody in this country. You know what I mean? We the people have the power. That's where it's at. Not in Washington, D.C. They work for us. They need to start fucking act like it.
We got to remind them, man. We got to remind them. They don't want you to remember. They know. They don't want you to know. That's the thing. They don't want us to know that they work for us. If we figure out if everybody figured out they work for us, yeah, they'll be out of a job pretty quick. Cause you ain't doing what we want you to do, dude. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing.
They ain't.
And even if you come down there less and conquer, hey, look, if you got the big GOD on your side, you can't lose, even if the numbers ain't there, So I never worry about that if it did come down to it, It's enough of us brothers and sisters in arms out there getting it done. So, I'm not worried about that, not one bit. But like you said, I am worried about us coming together, and that's like you said, getting off your tails and actually getting out there and doing communing and coming together. That's the one thing that worries me most, that I can see from my time of actually being active and doing this. So, but it's coming together, and in the end it's gonna work out.
We gotta get some more training too.
Yeah, we definitely gotta get some training.
We gotta get some training.
Hey, we got a good spot in Georgia, man. No shit. You come on down to Georgia, man. Bring your shit, man. Fucking cut some paper. Hit some steel. Run some kill houses. Shoot some targets. We'll do it all, man. Because that isn't like paramilitary training. That isn't like private militia training. That's something that I'll just say this, man. The Constitution says that a well-armed militia, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means more than just you have the right to keep it in your possession. I mean, you'd be an idiot if you let them compartmentalize it and say, yeah, you can have a rifle, but you ain't allowed to train with your brothers on how to face a threat. That's fucking stupid. You got the rifle.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You got the rifle. Now learn how to fight with your brother and sister standing to the left or the right of you, so that you can protect us from tyranny and put it back on the right track. Because I love America. I'm not anti-government, but they're fucked up. And if I get the chance, I'm gonna go in that building and I'm telling all, sit down and shut the fuck up. I got something to say. Open up the doors. Let everybody come in. Tell them what the fuck's up.
I hope you get that opportunity, brother. Because that's exactly what we need. Like you said, we don't want to have to go there with that yet. But if it comes down to it, we got to be prepared for it. But first of all, we need to come together and not shoot with the weapons, but we got to shoot with these first.
Even from a practical standpoint, man, if an EMP hit or the grid go down, you can't protect yourself. People gonna be coming for your stuff. And you're gonna need to know how to protect your own people, your own group, your own people, your own stuff.
Exactly.
That's even from a practical standpoint. But forget the whole tyrannical government thing for a second. If the grid goes down and all the electricity gets shut down, you're gonna have to know how to protect your family.
You can't forget the whole tyrannical government.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying though. You know what I'm going.
I got you.
Hey, I'd be better prepared if they wasn't taking Social Security out of my check. Just saying.
Exactly.
Who you tell? I can't do nothing with that.
Exactly. And people will be more generous if somebody hand one in my. I'd be more willing to give somebody some money if I didn't have somebody's hands in my pocket already.
I feel dirty every week.
That's right.
I feel real dirty every week. It was like another person's hand just sitting in my pocket. Like
I feel
violated every week.
On my leg.
Just in that IRS.
I smell money.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's sad, bro. But like you said, we gotta actually continue to do what we're doing, and like I said, you guys gotta continue to be on front lines like you are, making it happen, being an example for like a lot of people like us, really, who are just coming up and are trying to learn the ins and outs of these things. But people like you all, veterans and things, like you guys are doing a great deed for the people,
and we appreciate it.
Exactly, we greatly appreciate it.
We appreciate your proud service, and we appreciate your service now.
Current service, definitely. Yep.
I appreciate. Hey, that means a lot, man. Much love, much respect, man. I hope that we can do this again and definitely stay in touch. I don't think that this is the end. I think our paths are not only going to cross, man. I think we're running parallel with each other, and for me in my life, I couldn't. That's the direction I want to go, and whatever I could do to help, fire people up and kind of, share a little bit of insight on, not just go along with the status quo, but kind of, thinking a little bit outside of the box. And I think that's what I do, man. I say this, man. It's been a minute, but I feel like we're friends, man. I feel like I made some good friends, at Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Made some,
Oh yeah.
became better friends on this channel. Being able to talk with each other. And hey, man, mi casa, su casa. Whenever y'all down here, just hit the word, say the word, man, and we'll make it happen.
Awesome.
Hey. Same.
Yeah,
Tell people how to find you, man. Tell people how to find you.
what's that?
I said, tell people how they can find you.
Any last plugs you want to do on any organizations or any social media outlets that you want to do? You can go ahead and do that as we wrap up.
On Facebook, look up Roll Call Civil Disobedience Division. We're taking it off of Facebook. Hopefully, taking it into the city. If you're interested in taking it a step further, you want to provide the protection for the people using the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment. That's www.iiisecurityforce.com. And for all the haters, I know a hater when I see one, and I ain't never been a punk. And fuck all haters, fuck all punks, because this is what I do. And you just don't be mad because you had all this time to get something going, but I'm the one that gets it going. That's because I got good people pushing me, and I'm meeting good friends like Chris and Joel here on the Hayes Brothers YouTube channel. Hopefully, all my friends, all your friends, tuning in, checking it out, got some good information from it. Hey, if we inspired somebody, gave somebody some good information, then I think, hey, we did a good job, man. And spit the truth, stay fired up, guns up. God bless.
Awesome. Appreciate that, brother. And with that mouthful, we will sign out. Continue to fight for the Constitution, people.
With these. So that hopefully
and prayerfully
we never have to use these. Peace.
Deuces.
Stop broadcast. All right, we slowing it down.